developments and my
Nene turahuthagira rada cia guoko ukiuga wake kindu ta gasturu nuratika muthenya mugima no muthe macini iria tuhotete kugura ni turahota kugura sturu ndeka 30 ni wiganite wake tene turahuthagira rada kira macini cia kuhura rada thaici urahura sandpaper na macini ya thitima undu ucio ungi nginya ona kurenga rubau tene turarengaga na tho thaici turarenga na macini ona ku design mahua tene turabida tukahuthira batathi cia ku design mahua thaici hena macini nyingi hena macini cia ruta hena macini cia badi so hindi no turamenya uhoro wacio muno makiria tugakorera ciguru muno tukaremwo ni gucigura no citira tuhuthiria wira makiria koguo igoti ritu thingigia na uhoro wa kunyihanyihio tuhote kugura indo ici ni ingi nyingi muno tungihota kuhuthiria mawira na nginya ona gukorera ona murutu oka ha kumuruta wira ni aramenya na ihenya tandu turamuruta na macini tene ithuĩ twerutaga na moko thirikari ingi tu support handu akugiraga indo kuna tenera fatara kindu okonta desk cia maofisi ati governor ringi no agegeririre kindu Nairobi no ithuĩ twi haha ni tukuhota gutura kindu ta kiu tugithondeke wega na gikoge kindu githaka kandu maratathi timo marutaga wira ni moko marutaga wira na makaruta kindu githaka.
Indo icio cia technology ni cindeithĩtie tondu hakwa ni nyendete gwikira tutwara na nuona ndina ndwara ta ici ni nguhota kuruta wira ta ucio no tene twatumagira thoo ugakora ringi wina no wende gukorwo wi wira-ini ucio na ni urenda gukorwo ningi bado hari urenda gwithondeka ugakora ringi ni hararituha ni undu wa gutumira ta indo cia tene. Ni no njuge twitairitu tutige guthura wira tondu kwiragwo what a man can do a woman can do better na gutire wira muiritu atangiruta na gutire wira wa mundurume kana wa mutumia.
Kone ta macini no ya bad so ruhiu rungituika ntukona stress muno rwa guthi gucaria kuria urathi gucinirwo haya undu ucio ungi macini ici ni njega muno riria mundu aracihuthira no thitima thirikari itu ni turorere muno ni turarihio cost iguru muno ugakorera ona gafaida karorona ni kanini muno no mangiturora horo wa thitima no tuguo tukenete muno tondu maturihia challenge igoro muno the next thirikari itu ni turorere magoti macini no yathukia kindu tondu kindu giki kirauma kuraihu gikinya guku kina goro makiria hau no nyende thirikari itu turorere muno.
Try to avoid using this on ground. You use it in the air. So just control this action left. If you want it to go right, you press a bit right. Down on the bit right. Yes, that way. And then if you notice it's going this side, you press down on the left. Down on the foot. Then I'll tell you when to lift up. Okay, let's try again. Wow. You know, when you're a driver, your default is wanting to control with this one.
Yes,
because it looks like a steering wheel.
Yes.
But when you're on the ground, you use those ones. When you go airborne,
What is the role of the other guy here?
only one pilot flies at the time. So you're supposed to be observing the speed for him and telling him that he's keeping the aircraft level. And then once he gets airborne, you monitor the instruments, he does the flying. You communicate with air traffic control and all those things. So you're ready? Yeah. We use just control, try to avoid using this until we are airborne, okay? I can try take off with him, and then now once he goes airborne and comes back and land, and then now I can come back and sit and fly with you. So you can allow me to sit on one of. Just give me a second.
When you engage with business, that's better. Thank you. All right. Thank you, sir.
Again, we have first aiders amongst us, and also we have a very well-able clean few minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Remember, as we move across to the fire assembly points, please do not be worried about your personal belongings. I see a lot of fire assembly points that's right across the road. And to help and guide you in that,
Julius Ogamba, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education, Mensa, our partners from the London Metropolitan University, and the next educator, Alan Kilavuka, Kenya Airways Senior Management Team, our invited guests for choosing today as we launch a significant and impactful partnership between Kenya Airways and the London Metropolitan. I just want to start by asking you, when was the last time any of you 5 to 10 years ago? Hands up, 5 to 10 years ago? 11 to 22 hands, actually a couple of hands. 31 to 40. You have a conversation with your colleague, just remind them what it is that you're wearing in school, those many years ago. And yeah, so in addition to the photos, I'd like to invite...
that you've sent me to my two colleagues will reach. And in fact, let me share with you a secret. We've had a problem with financing of infrastructure and roads because of the model that the government was using. And the CS Infrastructure, who is your boss, just last week was able to come up with a very, very innovative way of financing roads. And with that little tweak, we've been able to open a window of 175 billion Kenya shillings to be able to do our roads. So that road is going to be done. As to the mobility of labor, I can't really assure you that that is going to stop until you yourself come up with packages or with other, benefits that will retain your team. So you have a job to do to make sure that you retain, otherwise, otherwise you'll be training for other people. I was recently in a meeting and the team from Rwanda was there and they told us they don't normally hold any meetings to come up with any form of strategies or, going around doing plans. They wait for Kenya to do those plans. And they just come and pick and implement. In other words, you could be training, somebody else takes your staff. You could be coming up with good ideas, somebody else takes those ideas to implement them. But ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to join you here today for the launch of this strategic partnership between Kenya Airways and London Metropolitan University. The launch of this partnership marks a significant milestone in Kenya's and indeed the region's aviation sector. This collaboration represents a critical step in addressing the current skills gap in Kenya's aviation industry while strengthening our ability to compete in the global aerospace economy. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya's strategic position as a regional aviation hub, our country faces a critical shortage of aviation training institutions, particularly in the technical and vocational space. The country lacks a dedicated university-level aviation degree program, which fact leaves many aspiring aviation professionals with limited opportunities to advance their studies locally. Because of this, many students and professionals are forced to seek training abroad, which is costly and limits access to specialized education. As the demand for skilled aviation professionals continues to grow, it is imperative that we strengthen local capacity to produce qualified pilots, engineers, aviation management experts, and other professionals. This historic partnership between Kenya Airways and the London Metropolitan University is a timely intervention that will help solve the two related challenges. Firstly, it will provide training opportunities to aspiring aviation professionals, and secondly, it will set the stage for the provision of globally recognized aviation qualifications that will bridge this gap. Kenya Airways Pride Center has played a pivotal role in the aviation training since its establishment in 2007. As an International Air Transport Association certified institution, and Africa's first center of excellence for the dangerous goods training, the Pride Center has continually set high standards in aviation education. I think somebody left their Kenya here. However, for Kenya to realize its full potential as a global aviation leader, we must elevate training beyond certification courses to full-fledged degree programs that align with international best practices. The collaboration that we are launching today presents a unique opportunity for Kenya to access higher education qualifications tailored to the aviation industry. By doing so, we not only enhance the skills of Kenya Airways employees, but also equip the broader public with specialized competencies that increase their employability in a highly competitive global market. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Kenya's Vision 2030 prioritizes industrialization and economic transformation. A well-trained workforce is at the heart of this vision, particularly in sectors that drive economic growth, such as aviation, transport, and logistics. By expanding access to world-class aviation education, this partnership will contribute directly to Kenya's goal of becoming a middle-income economy with a globally competitive workforce by 2030. Additionally, this initiative aligns with the government's commitment to education, innovation, and public-private partnerships for fostering of sustainable development. PPPs are here to stay, by the way, however much it's being fought back. By integrating industry expertise from Kenya Airways with academic excellence from London Metropolitan University, this collaboration serves as a model for how academia and industry can work together to prepare for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to commend Kenya Airways and the London Metropolitan University for forging this partnership. This underscores your shared commitment to developing a future-ready aviation workforce. This partnership has set the pace for the aviation sector in Africa. As the Ministry of Education, we assure you of our support in creating an enabling policy environment to foster the growth of aviation education in Kenya. Our collective efforts will define the future of aviation training and ensure that Kenya remains at the forefront of the aviation industry in Africa and beyond. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, may I once again commend the leadership of Kenya Airways and the London Metropolitan University for their vision and dedication to skills development. I assure you of our support and invite all stakeholders to play their rightful roles to facilitate the success of this collaboration. Together, we can build robust human capital in aviation to meet local and regional needs and also position Kenya as a global leader in aviation training and workforce excellence. Thank you and God bless you.
Cabinet Secretary for Education, Honorable Julius Ogamba, the Director Economic Affairs, Commercial Diplomacy, in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs, Ambassador Joseph Malisa, Director of Trade and Investment, the British High Commission, Mr. Richlove Menser, and the London Metropolitan Vice Chancellor, the powerful lady, Prof. Julie Hall, and all other distinguished guests, members of Kenya Airways Executive and staff, and all others, ladies and gentlemen, we'd really like to say good morning to you. First of all, I'd like to thank Julius, the Cabinet Secretary. I will always have this mistake because the Cabinet Secretary is a long-time friend of mine, and in fact was my lawyer. Nowadays he's too busy to be to act on my behalf. So thank you very much. You know, he had actually other functions which had been booked ahead of ours. But can you imagine he canceled them just to be with us? So thank you very much. We don't take that for granted. We were also hoping to have our Ministry of Transport, but they were also held up in other functions. So thank you very much, Cabinet Secretary, for coming. It is an honor to host you
and for you to see what we're trying to do in the process of transforming this organization. And the best way to transform it is to get our people to be more educated, to learn more new things, to expand their minds, to connect with other students around the world, to learn for the future. And those are the things that we're trying to do here. I also wanted to say that before I get into the other elements, and my speech is actually quite a short one, Cabinet Secretary, I just wanted to send you with a small message to some of your colleagues. Just since you're here, and then I want to take advantage of you being here, and I also want them to witness some things, I just have two messages. One is I had spoken to the Cabinet Secretary for roads, who is actually my boss. But you know, sometimes I cannot tell him things repeatedly. So maybe if I use you, it might work. This road, I think you've come through it. It really is in a deplorable state. So my request is to please find ways of helping us to fix this road. And this road also holds not just this institution, which is going to be the biggest aviation training institution in Africa in a short while. It also has Coca-Cola, it has KEMSA, so it is a very important road. So I just want to, in your way, find a way of encouraging him. I've spoken to the DG of Kura, and it's taken long. I also spoke to the governor recently, and so just find your way of saying that. So that is one request, because when this institution starts inviting students from outside, because originally we will have KQ, we really want it to be attractive. And with that road, it doesn't look good. In fact, I was a little bit embarrassed to have our visitors drive on that road. But since they are family, you know, that's fine. They will understand. Next time you come, I can assure you, with the CS here, we will fix that road. Or they'll bring tarmac. Maybe it can be one of the classrooms. Okay. Yeah. The other one, CS, is to send it to one of the other colleagues, your CS Labor. You know, in a short while, we currently are producing very high quality students who are wide range in aviation at the moment with our center here. We also have very highly qualified people. Our pilots, our engineers, our flight dispatchers, everybody very highly qualified. Actually, they're world class. Isn't it? Are you not? Yeah. And because of that, people like to come and take them away, which we don't really mind, but they should do it in a structured manner. So all we're asking for is give us time to train more. If they want to take, let's do it in a structured manner. I think CS faltered a little bit when he said they can come and just take. Because if they do that, then we're crippled. So I think just we are okay for them to take a few of them, but in a structured way, so that they don't cripple us. So those are the two requests, and I get them out of the way. I wanted also to say that this particular institution, currently we are having about 100 courses, which target mainly corporate training, what we need, and also what other airlines do. So we train other airlines. They actually prefer coming here. We don't have enough capacity. So in a short while, we'll be expanding this, especially because now we are in partnership with a world-renowned university. So we'll be expanding it to not only accommodate our needs, but also to accommodate needs of other airlines, and also eventually, of course, the general population. Actually, a lot of the people who train in this institution are not necessarily training for us, although we take a lot of them. They're training for other institutions. And so that is why we're able to produce frontline operations staff who are, like I mentioned earlier, are world-class. Historically, the only university which was training for aviation-related degrees was Moi University, and I will not go any further. I will only say that, see, as I don't want to stress you, that's why I did not comment any further. I only want to say that it's a great milestone for us to start this partnership so that we can offer alternative courses, and again, in a much more structured way with a partner who has a lot of experience and a lot of capacity to help us really expand. Now, for our employees, I just wanted to tell you, just like the prof has told you, please take advantage, or is it Sean? Take advantage of this opportunity. But actually, maybe I shouldn't even need to say that, because Kenyans love education. So I know they will take advantage. But I also wanted maybe to encourage you that I will personally also be taking advantage. So we might be sitting in the same class as you. So if you want to see me in class, but don't make sure that you're not ahead of me in class, right? Otherwise, your appraiser will be in trouble. Yeah? Yeah, so please enroll for these courses. Very excited. And then beyond really our workforce, like I said, we will be interested in seeing that these courses are rolled out eventually to the general public. And because we're offering not just theoretical courses, we really are going to be on job and very practical in the way these courses are being rolled out. And so that's why these particular people who will be graduating from these courses will be solid. And also I was happy to hear that it will be more futuristic. You know, what are the new trends and what are the new things that we need to be learning? So, ladies and gentlemen, today, as we sign this Memorandum of Understanding, let us remember that it's not just a Memorandum of Understanding, but it really signifies our commitment to the future of quality aviation in this region. We want to really set a standard that is completely world-class for this region, and therefore also to grow our industry. Yesterday, we received a new aircraft, so we continue to grow, and as we continue to grow, we need you to also grow, not just in numbers, but also in skills. So this is one way to help us to grow that. So we will continue to, together with London Metropolitan, to lead, to innovate, and to inspire. So thank you very much. Maybe lastly, before I sit down, I wanted to also inform the CS. CS, in this campus, one of the things that we were, in 2020, during COVID, the employees came up with a fantastic idea to grow this campus. This campus is not just this Pride Center. All these neighboring facilities actually belong to Kenya Airways. It's about 14 acres of land here that we have. And the idea is to expand this KQ Academy.
Ready, willing, and able to ensure that we put in place policies that support industry in order for them to undertake these programs. So where we find that there's any specific obstacles, we look into it and resolve that. So we put in policies and work regulations in an environment so that they can thrive, and we work together to ensure that we no longer have situations where for things like issues like relating to accrediting these programs takes too long. We have to deal with it and resolve it. That's why you had KQ mentioned that they're already at an advanced stage in registering a TVET industry, and the accreditation of the programs through COE will be done so that they can now be put through COOPs so that you receive the students, and those students then can become beneficiaries of the loans and facilities that we have through HELP and Universities Fund. So it's a whole circuit, it's a whole ecosystem that we are working on to ensure that this works. And that's why I came here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This event.
Yeah. We are working as a government very hard to ensure that the programs that are offered in the universities are demand-driven, not supply-driven. And so when we find industry partnering with the universities to come up with curriculum that they have determined that this is what they need for their industry to progress, we become very excited, and we're encouraging this collaboration, because then what it does, it means that our professionals who are graduating and going to work in industry are already completely job ready, and they do not need to be retrained, because the demand is emanating from the industry, not the other way. Either to that, the gap that we've had is a situation where we are having universities perhaps offering courses or programs that industry does not require. And when our graduates go to industry, the industry then starts retraining them, which is expensive, time-consuming, etc. So by starting from industry, where industry comes up with its own curriculum and says, this is our industry, this is what we need, we can partner with a particular university to deliver, to offer this particular program which we need. Then it becomes easier because the graduates then automatically fit into that industry. And that's why this collaboration is so critical in the aviation sector, because the industry has identified a gap that without this particular training to the degree level in aviation, like whether it is pilots, whether it is engineers, specifically for aviation, we will not be able to meet what we require. So once they collaborate with universities and the specific niches are produced, then it becomes a very relevant field. And that's why we're excited and we're encouraging this model in each and every industry. We're already working on it in terms of even the TVETs that we have. We are now offering courses that are demand-driven from the industry. And we have policies where now we have dual training, where we are training our trainees in institutions 50% of the time, and 50% of the other time they train in industry, which means that by the time they are coming out, they do not need to be retrained. That is why we're here, and that's why this is exciting.
So from KQ,
we're waiting to see what the end of this last year is going to look like, and we'll be announcing it next month, so look out for that. We continue to grow. We are constrained a little bit because of the industry. The industry has a shortage of aircraft. As you know, we were changing our type of aircraft from Embraer to 73, which is a bigger capacity aircraft. And those kind of aircraft we have a shortage in the whole world. It's a global shortage. So those are the constraints that we're currently facing. We also have constraints on global supply chain of spare parts and so on. So those are hindering our projections. But outside that, we still are focused on continuing to grow, because right now we are smaller than we want to be. So continuing to grow is more aircraft and more destinations.
more aircraft. You took one yesterday.
Yes.
Took charge of one yesterday.
Well, it's part of our transformation journey for upskilling our people with new learnings, modern learning, new ways of working. So our idea is to make sure that we give people from Kenya Airways access to quality learning. Now, London Metropolitan is a renowned institution in training aviation-specific courses. So that is why we are getting into an MOU with them, so that they can offer those courses primarily to our people to begin with, and then subsequently to other aviation professionals, and then, of course, to the general public as well. And then on top of that, we already have a Pride Center here, which is an IATA certified training institution for aviation, and which, of course, currently offers courses specifically for aviation. So it really is upgrading this particular institution now to be able to offer degree, master's and PhD type courses in collaboration with London Metropolitan.
The Minister threw a challenge to you regarding...
Through this partnership, there'll be courses in aviation management and digital aviation futures. We recognise that the skills we might have today may not be the right skills for tomorrow. And so all the time we're looking at what we can do. We're also recognising that people might have one time wanted to be a pilot, but now they want to open their eyes and perhaps do other things on the ground. And so these kind of courses give people options to work in cargo, to work in tourism and trade, and it just opens doors to people to give them other opportunities.
For me, maybe unless there's any other questions.
To be able to offer scholarship programs, and I think our Kenya colleagues are also looking at offering the courses beyond employees to families. So that will be really exciting. We've still got quite a lot of work to do to design the courses, to design the detail, but that will all happen very soon in the next few weeks. So London.
Your name's first, so yes, because they don't know you in Kenya. Of course,
okay.
Just introduce yourself first.
I'm Professor Julie Hall, and I'm the Vice-Chancellor at London Metropolitan University. This is a university that's based in London, but with a global footprint. We have 13,000 students on campus in London. right next to Arsenal Football Club, and that might be good or maybe not. and then 13,000 globally. So we partner with all kinds of organisations and other colleges and universities and schools across the world. And this will be our first partnership in Africa. And we are so excited to be partnering with Kenya Airlines. We have a long-standing reputation in aviation training, so it's a perfect partnership. We can come together, bring our expertise, and also our commitment to opening doors to people already in work who want to improve their qualifications, but also people who want to enter the industry. So today's a very exciting day for us.
So what courses are you offering?
Tene turahuthagira rada cia guoko ukiuga wake kindu ta gasturu nduratika muthenya mugima no muthe macini iria tuhotete kugura ni turahota kugura sturu ndeka 30 ni wiganite wake. Tene turahuthagira rada kira macini cia kuhura rada thaici urahura sandpaper na macini ya thitima undu ucio ungi nginya ona kurenga rubau tene turarengaga na tho thaici turarenga na macini ona ku design mahua tene turabida tukahuthira batathi cia ku design mahua thaici hena macini nyingi hena macini cia ruta hena macini cia badi so
hindi no turamenya uhoro wacio muno makiria tugakorera ciguru muno tukaremwo ni gucigura no citiratuhuthiria wira makiria koguo igoti ritu thingigia na uhoro wa kunyihanyihio tuhote kugura indo ici ni ingi nyingi muno tungihota kuhuthiria mawira na nginya ona gukorera ona murutu oka ha kumuruta wira ni aramenya na ihenya taru turamuruta na macini tene ithuĩ twerutaga na moko thirikari ingi tu support handu akugiraga indo kuna tene irabatara kindu okonta desk cia ma office ati governor ringi no agegeririre kindu Nairobi no ithuĩ twi haha ni tukuhota gutura kindu ta kiu tugithondeke wega na gikoge kindu githaka kandu maratathi timo marutaga wira ni moko marutaga wira na makaruta kindu githaka.
Indo icio cia tekinoronjĩ nĩ cindeithĩtie tondũ hakwa nĩ nyendete gwĩkĩra tũtwara na nĩwona ndĩna ndwara ta ici nĩ ngũhota kũruta wĩra ta ũcio no tene twatũmagĩra thoo ũgakora rĩngĩ wĩna no wende gũkorwo wĩ wĩra-inĩ ũcio na nĩ ũrenda gũkorwo ningĩ bado harĩ ũrenda gwĩthondeka ũgakora rĩngĩ nĩ haritũha nĩ ũndũ wa gũtũmĩra ta indo cia tene. Niĩ no njuge twĩ ta airĩtu tũtige gũthura wĩra tondũ kwĩragwo what a man can do a woman can do better. Na gũtirĩ wĩra mũirĩtu atangĩruta na gũtirĩ wĩra wa mũndũrũme kana wa mũtumia.
Korwo nĩ ta macini ĩno ya bad soul rũhiũ rũngĩtuĩka nĩ tũkorwo stress mũno rwa gũthiĩ gũcaria kũrĩa ũrathiĩ gũcinĩrwo. Haya ũndũ ũcio ũngĩ macini ici nĩ njega mũno rĩrĩa mũndũ aracihũthĩra no thitima thirikari itũ nĩ tũrorere mũno nĩ tũrarĩhio cost igũrũ mũno ugakorera ona gabaida karĩa ũrona nĩ kanini mũno no mangĩtũrora ũhoro wa thitima no tũguo tũkenete mũno tondũ maratũrĩhe challenge igoro mũno. The next thirikari itũ nĩ tũrorere magoti macini ĩno yathũkia kĩndũ tondũ kĩndũ gĩkĩ kĩrauma kũraihu gĩkinya gũkũ kĩna goro makĩria hau no nyende thirikari itũ ĩtũrorere mũno.
So you try to avoid using this on ground, you use it in the air. So just control the action left. If you want it to go right, you press a bit right. Down on the bit right. Yes, that way. And then if you notice it's going inside, you press down on the left. Down on the foot. Then I'll tell you when to lift up. Okay, let's try again. You know, when you're a driver, your default is wanting to control with this one. Because it looks like a steering wheel. Yes. But when you're on the ground, you use those ones. When you go airborne, what is the role of the other guy here? Only one pilot flies at the time. So you're supposed to be observing the speed for him and telling him that he's keeping the aircraft level.